Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Blue Ridge Bonfire, an irreverent podcast about overlanding and hooliganism and all around silliness. I'm CT.
I'm Rick.
I'm Matt.
So Rick, what do we got going this week?
So we all love to eat, maybe more than your average podcast host. I think that might be a safe assumption about the three of us. And so we're going to talk about our favorite on the trail snack or go to camp meal, whether it's something quick when you're on the move or once you set up for the evening. Uh, I know Matt's got some pretty slick ideas that he's developed over the years. I don't know if we should. Let's start with Matt. We'll just set the bar high right out of the gate.
Whatever Jimmy Hyman and or Jen are cooking is what my go-to is.
That's a good point.
I'm a
Yes.
pretty good scavenger, to be honest with you, uh, and and not bashful. Uh, Jen Rosiska, actually, whatever she's making is my go-to.
I've seen her pull off some amazing stuff, like cinnamon buns on the scuttle blew my mind. They
Yeah.
were
Apple pies, mini apple
Oh,
pies
yeah.
on the scuttle.
Yeah, she's she's just anything. It wouldn't matter if it's fire or sunlight. She can make good food. Um, personally, I make pizza a lot because it's not hard and tastes pretty good.
Mm.
From there, I go to a lot of breakfast food, but pizza like on a skillet is one of my go tos.
so. Just in case our listeners aren't privy to your secrets of like doing pizza,
Pizza making skill.
yeah, on like a scuttle or a cast iron or something. Do you care to break down that reverse construction method? That blew my mind the first time you because you didn't even say anything. You just started throwing stuff down. It was like that's actually the opposite of how you make pizza, Matt.
Well, I mean, typically I sort of take some kind of flatbread stuff and fry it, or put it on there and heat it up pretty good, kind of toast it, and then I throw cheese down on the cast iron, or butter first or whatever, and then cheese, a lot of cheese, melt the cheese, throw the bread on top of it, flip it over, and then once it's flipped over, I start adding stuff to it. But it comes out pretty good, especially if you like
Wow.
slightly burnt cheese.
Yeah,
But you can regulate the cheese
'Cause
burn.
that's got to make it because it's always a fight to melt the cheese.
Melting the cheese is always the problem. So you start
Yeah.
with melted cheese. I mean, you just melt a big pile of cheese in the
I've
bottom,
never
and
seen
if
you do
and
that.
you have to put something down to kind of make sure that the cheese doesn't stick and it flips kind of in the shape that it went down in. Kind
Uh-huh.
of scrape the edges a little bit, and all of a
yeah.
sudden you flip it over on the with the bread all at one time. Finish cooking the bottom of the bread while you add whatever. Plus, a lot of times, like I'll even lubricate the cast iron, or with pepperoni
Yeah, I
or
was gonna
salami
say.
first. So I'll start by
Oh.
frying salami or pepperoni first and kind of cooking it, slide it off the side, let the fat kind of go in there, then put my cheese on top of that. And that's typically after I've toasted the bread. But yeah, no, it is almost exactly completely reverse order. I cook
Yeah.
the pepperonis first, slide them out, or salami or whatever I'm going to use,
And then
sausage
you
or
get
anything.
all that flavor in there.
Well, and be like I said, plus the fat kind of keeps everything from sticking, and at the end of the day, it's pretty good.
The first time I witnessed this, it was like 9:30 at night, and we're like, "Oh gosh, we're kind of hungry." It's been 4 hours since we've had anything. And Matt was like, "Oh, let's do pizza," and it's exactly what went down like that. You literally just like tossed a few pepperoni down. I was like, "Wait, what?" And then like threw cheese on top of it, and then
Yeah.
and then everything went. It was pretty mind-boggling the first time.
Yeah,
Witnessed that.
it is pretty good. It is pretty good like that. Yeah.
So, CT,
Cool.
what have you got?
So you'd said snack, and this is I hate to be a broken record, but Jen Rosiska. So their like go to trail snack was to get like sliced cheese and sliced summer sausage, and they would just get that ready to go.
I have bags of it.
Yeah, they just have
Again,
bags ready to go.
I'm
and
a good
just like,
scavenger.
oh
Yeah.
man, like it's real food. It's not like snack. I mean, it's a snack, but
Yeah.
it's like actually super legit. And
It-
it's
it's
really
good.
tasty.
CT is the ultimate scavenger, I will say. Like, he may scavenge
Everybody
better
like
than any of us.
they somehow know that I'm hungry and take pity on me and just like give me things.
The like animal shelter commercial music.
Right?
starts
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
in the
no,
background.
absolutely.
Puppy dog
CT
eyes.
with the little bars in front,
Yeah, yeah.
looking out like.
For only one snack a day, you can support a CT.
Oh my gosh. No, that's awesome.
Cheez-Its.
No, but I'm just like I haven't like organized that many overland trips. So it's been like going out with you or Jason, and like yeah, the pizzas are always just have something that's like hot is so nice. Or like when we do like a skillet meal, like stir fry noodles, or like Alfredo and noodles and that kind of thing. It's like that always hits the spot.
I pretty much stick to like dead cow, breakfast, and pizza. That's it.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any.
I mean, there's meat in
I have
it.
no. I very few in, but like I've done spaghetti and some things like that. But at the end of the day, like
Yeah.
eggs and sausage
Well,
and cheese are always good together, and pizza is always good. And then it's burgers or
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
burgers or steak from there pretty much. And I do some summer sausage on occasion. When especially if Jen's not there, then I might up my game a little bit. But if Jen and Jeremy are around, then I can be a little lax on my.
Yeah.
Just show up with water. That's
Well, no, I come with food. Like I always bring food to make sure that I'm covered because I don't want to be hungry because I'm a terrible human being when I'm hungry. So
Oh, same.
I
get like paranoid if I'm like, do we have enough food? Are we bringing enough? Let's throw extra snacks. Yeah.
I always have a ton of food. I may eat everybody else's too, but I always have plenty of my own food, or most of the time.
And one of the things we do to make the pasta really easy is, and I don't know if they still do this, but you could get packs of pre-cooked pasta, and so then basically you can just throw it into the sauce, and cook that all up together, and then it's just like ready to eat.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Blue bag. They're like al dente cooked already, and you
Yeah.
literally can just like throw some sauce, and the heat of the sauce will cook them enough to just push them over the edge.
Yeah.
I don't remember who makes those, but those are good.
And then another snack I would do would just get like, I would do like hummus and carrots or something, but I don't really do that as much anymore. No. Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel, Matt.
Another thing that I always
hummus.
make sure I bring is like real half and half for coffee, because I'm not just like a just straight black coffee kind of guy, and I don't need any sweetener, but just like some kind of real creamer.
Yeah. I drink my coffee black, and
I can't remember the last time I put
I try not to eat what my food eats. Those are my two main rules.
Food's food.
I'm a vegetarian once removed.
That needs to be on a t-shirt.
Just a big steak.
Yeah. So I was kind of thinking back, like, once we figured out your reverse pizza thing, we've stolen that idea a lot. For snacks, we are the opposite of like what you're talking about, Jen doing, like, summer sausage. It's chips and Snickers bars and bad decisions for us. But so kind of two things for us. One is I love sweets. Like my sweet tooth is not even remotely under control. And one of the coolest things we've ever got for like outdoor cook gear is that Omnia oven.
Oh, right.
And it will fit on
familiar.
any camp stove. The rooftop tent rally. Brandy just like made a strawberry cake on the tailgate. Like we literally just threw it on top.
Is that donut shaped thing?
Yeah, it looks like a bun cake pan that has another pan under it that keeps like the heat indirect. She's made all kinds of things in that, and it's not just like baked goods. You can roast vegetables in it.
And I completely forgot about that. That would be good.
Yeah, I was on a trip once. We were camping, but was there with a friend. We were doing some bike rides, and we actually like wheeled back into camp, and Brandy was like taking a coffee cake, like cinnamon coffee cake, off the burner. Like that is the ultimate way to end a bike ride when there's like piping hot cake.
So to paraphrase, your camp cooking advice is to marry
Brandy.
well.
Yeah, that's true.
Bring Brandy.
Because now there you go. Brandy's like baking cakes in camp on the tailgate. Now, one of my favorite like quick and easy camp meals that I've kind of figured out with some buddies is on some trout trips. We fish all day. The last thing you want to do is take a ton of time. We've done the pizza thing. But we started going to the grocery stores, especially during the summer, when they have those like kebab kits that have got your peppers and your onions and all that like sliced up, and just pull them off the kebabs if they're already like pre-done or whatever, and make that like a fajita plate. Like throw that on the griddle or whatever. It's all pre-sliced. They usually have got like meat, and if not, we've even done the like stew cut like steak that's chunked up.
Oh yeah.
And you literally open 2 containers, pull it out of the fridge, throw it on the scuttle or the griddle.
Yeah.
And boom.
Season it up.
Yeah, I keep sandwich stuff like in the fridge 24/7 just in case there's an emergency and I need a sandwich. Emergency sandwich. Do you keep anything else like food wise, like crisis, emergency food? And like I keep what power bars? What are those little
Oh yeah.
peanut
Yeah,
butter. I
Cliff-
think it's a
Cliff
power
bars.
Cliff Bar. Cliff
Yeah,
bars.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
little
yeah.
peanut butter
Those are
Cliff
good.
bars in there, just in case there's a crisis. And then I always have at least half a bottle of bourbon somewhere in the
Nice.
truck in case
Yeah.
there's a crisis.
Yes.
Those are my two go-to.
Yeah.
Like shit goes really sideways, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna sit down. I'm done for the
When
day.
it comes to bars, like the most important thing in like a bar is like whether or not it's covered in chocolate. Because if it's covered in chocolate, then it's gonna get hot
Different
and I'll
bar. We were
stick
headed
to
to
that
different
wrapper.
bars.
Yeah,
so-
And then you open it up and it's just like just going everywhere.
Well, I
So
was
yes,
gonna say,
Cliff
his,
bars.
His two choices. It's interesting because those are both like very heat resilient. Because Cliff bars, they can take hot and cold cycles.
100%.
they're
Doesn't
so
matter.
good
I
for
have
that.
found mysterious Cliff bars in backpacks,
and they're fine.
and you crack it up. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this may have been put in this morning. You know it wasn't. And then bourbon versus like a lot of other things. It can get hot and cold as many times as you need to.
And if it's cold,
It's good.
it's bourbon.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it's warm, it's bourbon.
Yeah.
That's
Good
just me.
call.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I'd like emergency thing because usually I was traveling with other people would be like the instant coffees if I had to do that.
Mm.
The Starbucks ones, not just like any those ones are pretty okay, but still just make coffee.
I actually really like Cafe Bustelo has their own instant coffee packs. The same thing. Got those on sale. It was like I forget. It was like you could get like 10 packs. If you like, they had like a deal going on. Ended up with like 100 cups of coffee for $10.
But by the time, I mean, I keep coffee, a French press, a burner,
Yeah.
and a pot, not in the truck right now. But
in your
normally
daily
it's in the
driver at
truck.
all times.
At all times, yeah,
Yeah.
because if I'm gonna boil water that I'm gonna put into an instant whatever it is, I might as well
Just do a French
actually
press.
make a pot of coffee
That's
because
true.
I'm gonna drink the pot of coffee.
So earlier you talked about like if things go real sideways, just sitting down have some bourbon. There's some interesting like psychology in that. Like I think it was the British Army used to train their guys like if you get lost to sit down and make a cup of tea, because they had to like make a fire or get their stove out, wait for the water to boil, steep it, and it was like kind of a trick to make them stop and like not make any like rash decisions. So maybe the like coffee making thing, that's another like it's a process.
Psychological.
Yeah. Calms you down.
Open bottle, pouring cup, sit down,
Yeah.
drink bourbon.
Make
That's
a better decision.
Oh, I tried making no decisions at that point. At
That's
that point,
true.
there's no decisions going on. I've quit. I've given up all decision making
Yeah.
and said, "Fuck it, I'm just not going any further."
Yeah.
This
You
is me
mentioned
for the night.
Cafe Bustelo. This is a side note, but like that is the ultimate. That brand of coffee is like the ultimate like good coffee on a budget. Like if you're a completely broke college student, and for all the broke college students out there, if you want decent coffee but you have no money, just Cafe Bustelo all the way.
I love that it still comes in the vacuum sealed like brick. Like
Yes.
you
I
can,
don't even know what we're talking about.
It's-
Like you guys are
It's
speaking
the
a
yellow
foreign
the
language to
yellow
me.
bags of coffee or the yellow cans of coffee.
yeah, like
you ever
bright
see those
yellow,
at the
red,
grocery
blue
store?
No.
words. Yeah.
No,
And they started making instant. They're really good. It's also some really high caffeine.
yeah.
Okay.
If I'm drinking it by the gallon, it's Folgers. If I'm, it's
Yeah.
Dunkin' or Black Rifle or something. If I'm
Drinking
you know.
by the cup.
yeah, well, or drink it by the half gallon.
Yeah.
Would be the
Fair enough.
so morning for 4 people. It's Folgers because we go through a lot of coffee.
Yeah,
but
that's us too. The first cup is for necessity. The
yeah,
second
yeah,
cup is for
no,
taste.
right, yeah. I mean, well, the first pot is a
Yeah.
necessity. The rest of it, and none of it is. It's all mostly for necessity for me. I'll drink it lukewarm and a day old. So
Yeah, I get some weird looks in the shop when I come in. They're like, "Oh, that pot's from yesterday. Cool."
it'll heat in the microwave.
talking
Let me
about
warm
weird
this thing
looks.
up. It'll be fine.
I have totally just like gone by the coffee pot that was brewed yesterday or the day before, and I'm like, well, it's not like it has dairy in it.
There's no
nothing
mold
going
on.
bad.
As long as there's no mold on top, it's
it
good
smells
to go.
like normal coffee, and just zap that.
Heat that shit up.
Go right for it. Yeah.
Burnt gas station coffee is fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not a coffee snob. But
In my 35 years, I've only had one cup that was just like, oh, not drinking that. It was a gas station in Columbia, South Carolina. It was about 5 in the morning. We had drove straight through from Tennessee, trying to get to the coast to make a first light ferry. Stopped and had to like wake the dude up to let us in the coffee or the gas station to get coffee. It's supposed to be 24 hours. He was asleep in the back with the door locked. And I took like 2 drinks. Like, no, I'm not driving. I don't need it that bad.
really, I've never found a cup of coffee
It
I
was
couldn't
like
get down.
the worst coffee.
Unless they put shit in it. Like
Oh,
then
no,
I
and
don't
this was
like.
just
Oh
black.
yeah.
If they put hazels in there or something else that
Right.
isn't coffee, I don't like
It's
that.
freaking hazels, man, they ruin every cup of coffee they touch.
Yeah.
So the worst cup of coffee I had was like at like a Hardee's. I was on a road trip and I was like,
Maybe
Hardee's
I've
has
had
no business serving coffee, but it's on the menu and it's like 74 cents or something. And I'm like, I wanted a cup of
What
coffee.
year were you at Hardee's?
No, but that's when
Yeah.
I don't darken the door of a Hardee's, but I was riding with other people, and this was like 10 years ago, and they just gave you a styrofoam cup of hot water and like some just cheapo packet instant, and that
Weird.
was the coffee, and I mixed the two together, and it was just god awful. It was
Wow,
so bad.
Yeah,
again,
because I imagine most Hardee's have like a strict regiment for like you put
I have
this
no
pack
Maybe
in
it
here.
wasn't the Hardee's. Maybe
Yeah.
it was some fast food restaurant with like yellow and red colors.
Huh.
not McDonald's.
I don't think it was
Yeah, I don't know.
McDonald's.
My
Carl's
palate is
Jr. But,
my
Oh, yes.
my palate is not sophisticated
Yeah.
enough to
I will say
identify
that,
good versus bad. I think.
I'll drink coffee anywhere. I was at a Subway once getting breakfast. Subway's breakfast is pretty good, and was like, oh, coffee, sure, I'll get one. And they literally went in the back and like fired up a Keurig. That kind of caught me off guard. Like, oh, you guys like don't even brew your coffee. It's just when somebody wants it, we've got these K cups from Walmart. Like,
I've never had breakfast at Subway.
yeah,
I may
right.
have to. My
So-
special K is not available there.
You've
I
ruined
guess.
another perfectly good hour listening to car talk.
So speaking of camp cooking and stuff like that, wanted to highlight a couple of new products that we've got in the shop. I'm going to start with the one that I'm excited about, and then go to the one that I'm ridiculously excited about.
You know, okay.
So,
I'm bracing myself.
If you check out our site, we've got some new stuff from Primus. They have some really quality stoves that they've been making for a long time. A lot of people don't realize that Primus has been in business forever.
Ever. Yeah.
Scandinavian originally, right? Yeah. And so we wanted to start carrying some stuff from them that kind of complemented some of our gear, like this almost flatware set with your knife, your spoon, and your fork, and the little leather sleeve that keeps them all together. This actually fits in the pouches in our cook kit bag really well. And something that I like is that they are real sturdy.
Yeah,
Like,
they're no joke. Yeah.
even with the cutout, like they're pretty legit. And then
You can hook them together.
yeah, and then a pet peeve of mine is like when you open your bag and like all your kitchen stuff is flopped out, on the ground or whatever. This keeps them together, keeps them all in the pouch, so when somebody says, hey, I need this, you just hand them the whole set. Now, CT shares an office with me, so let me introduce you to a sound he's heard a million times already. This salt and pepper shaker, for the people that are just listening, I feel bad for you, and people just watching, I feel bad for you, because you really need to be here in the studio with us to really appreciate how great these are. Spring-loaded, machined aluminum. They've got like the burr grinder, salt and pepper. I mean, they're exactly the same. It could be pepper and pepper, or two different salts for all I care. But these obviously have a pill because we already sold out of these. We haven't even really done any like social media coverage or anything like that. Just on the site.
They're back in stock now, so act fast. Maybe not by the time you hear this, but check out the Primus salt and pepper shaker.
They're slick.
super legit.
Also fit in the pouches for the cook kit, and when you don't depress the spring, like they don't spill, that's something I really like. But yeah, like let's one more time for the folks that didn't catch it. Listen to that spring action. Yeah. And then literally just yesterday, Matt had told me about this stuff a while ago. We got some stuff from Domestic and some of their new camp furniture line. Sorry, I'm trying to not let those beautiful salt and pepper shakers roll off the table. We got chairs, we got tables, we got some of their new like water transportation and spigot type stuff. But I had not seen these
The boxes. Yeah.
I'll hold it in the middle if you
Yeah.
want to pass it over the top.
Flip that around if you want to. So yeah, these are really slick aluminum cases with I'm guessing like an ABS hard plastic top and bottom. What I really like, a couple things. A, they're stackable. B, the lids have a secure area where you can put a strap or a lock, not just through the lid, but also through the handle.
Through the handle. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you'll flip it around, CT, sorry. Making CT go
rubber latches.
Full van on fly. Yeah, it has like rubber latches that are integrated into the lid. Like there we go.
Dude, I can't wait till we get something bigger and CT has to hold it. That's going to be way more
Yeah.
fun even. I mean,
So
this
here's our
is
new 75-liter fridge. And then they've got a sill all the way around and this great lip. That's a pet peeve of mine when you have a box that's sealed, but like it doesn't really like push down. These suckers, I'm gonna go ahead and wager, are like truly dust proof. Like in a truck, an open truck or even a truck with a shell, dust can find its way into a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm probably going to pick a couple of these up myself. I have a feeling that 2 of them will fit between the fender wells really well, just to kind of keep the regular stuff in there.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll hand that back to you.
Yeah, so check out some of the new Dometic camp furniture and camp storage stuff that we got on the site. Thanks for listening. You guys have anything else for this episode?
No, I got through my coffee, emergency bourbon, and
Yeah.
no,
That's
it's
all
not
I
that my
got.
coffee is that
When
exciting,
you
but-
try out Upside Down Pizza, take a photo, tag us on Instagram. We really need to just get the gospel of the camp pizza out there.
It is. It is good.
Hashtag Matt Pizza or hashtag BROG Pizza something.
Oh.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna camp out that hashtag, and I'm ready. I'm ready. I
I'm
want to see
gonna
the
camp
pics.
out that hashtag.
I want to see the pics,
That it is good. I have to admit.
Yeah.
or
Awesome.
maybe just upside down pizza. I don't know. You figure
Matt's
something
Upside
out.
Down Pizza. I mean, we have to give him
Let us know.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
this has been the Blue Ridge Bonfire
Episode
Bye.
number.
episode. I don't know. It's like 4. This is like episode 5, I think.
5, yeah.
I lost count.
5 seems right.
Oh, 5 since we came back.
Yeah.
We had a few before our
Yeah.
break.
127.
I was gonna say 52, but
Now we
let's
can
go with
just
127.
backfill in some lost episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
The lost ones.
All right, for real this time. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.